It's 2 a.m. again. Your toddler is awake again. And you're standing in their doorway, exhausted beyond words, wondering if you'll ever sleep through the night again. You've tried everything, haven't you? The bedtime routines, the gentle music, the blackout curtains, the stuffed animals. You've read the books, scrolled through countless articles at 3 in the morning, and listened to every piece of advice from well meaning friends and family. But nothing seems to work. And here's the hardest part. You love your child more than anything in this world, but you're running on empty. You're irritable during the day, you're forgetting things, your patience is paper thin. And the guilt? The guilt of feeling frustrated with your own precious child is eating you alive. You look at other parents and wonder what they're doing differently. How are their kids sleeping through the night? What secret did they know that you don't? I need you to take a deep breath right now, because what you're experiencing isn't your fault. You're not failing as a parent, and your toddler isn't broken. Here's what's actually happening. And once you understand this, everything changes. For years, we've been approaching toddler sleep all wrong. We've been fighting against our children's natural rhythms instead of working with them. We've been trying to force sleep instead of creating the conditions where sleep happens naturally. And the parenting world has been selling you the same tired solutions over and over again without addressing the real issue. But there's a revolution happening right now in how we understand toddler sleep. And it's so simple, so natural, that when I first discovered it 7 years ago, I actually laughed because we've been overcomplicating this entire thing. Let me tell you about Emma. She came to me with her 2-year-old son, Jacob, absolutely desperate. She hadn't slept more than 3 hours in a row in over 18 months. She was crying as she told me she'd tried sleep training, co-sleeping, earlier bedtimes, later bedtimes, cutting out naps, keeping naps. Nothing worked. Jacob would fight bedtime for hours, screaming, crying, running out of his room, and even when he finally fell asleep, he'd wake up multiple times every single night. Emma was at her breaking point, so I asked her one simple question. What does Jacob's day actually look like? Walk me through it, hour by hour. And as she described their daily routine, I noticed something. Something almost every exhausted parent I work with has in common. Their child's nervous system was in overdrive all day long, not because of anything bad, not because of screen time or sugar or any of the usual suspects everyone blames, but because of something nobody talks about. Modern toddler life is completely disconnected from the natural rhythms that human bodies need to sleep well. Think about it. 100 years ago, children spent their days outside. They felt the sun on their skin in the morning. They moved their bodies freely, climbing, running, digging in dirt. They experienced genuine physical tiredness. They watched the sun set. They lived in tune with natural light cycles. Today, our toddlers wake up indoors. They play indoors. They eat indoors under artificial light. Their bodies never receive the signals they're biologically designed to receive, signals that tell their little nervous systems when it's time to be awake and alert and when it's time to wind down and sleep. We're not talking about going off-grid or becoming pioneers. We're talking about simple, natural elements that regulate sleep hormones and calm the nervous system. And when Emma started implementing what I'm about to share with you, Jacob was sleeping through the night within 5 days. 5 days. Not because of a complicated system, not because of sleep training or crying it out, but because his body finally had what it needed to sleep naturally. Before we get into the practical steps you can start tonight, you need to understand something crucial about your toddler's body. Your child has an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. You've probably heard of this, but what most parents don't realize is that toddlers' circadian rhythms are incredibly sensitive and easily disrupted. This internal clock controls everything: when your child feels sleepy, when they feel hungry, when they have energy, when their body temperature drops to signal sleep time. And this clock is set by external cues. Light is the most powerful cue, but there are others: temperature, physical activity, even meal timing. When these cues are consistent and aligned with natural rhythms, your toddler's body knows exactly what to do. Sleep comes easily, naturally, without a fight. But when these cues are random, inconsistent, or working against natural biology, your toddler's body is confused. Their nervous system doesn't know whether it's time to be alert or time to rest. That's why your child can seem exhausted but still fight sleep. Their body is tired, but their nervous system hasn't received the signal that it's safe to sleep. This isn't about discipline. It's not about your child being difficult. It's pure biology. And once you align their day with these natural signals, sleep stops being a battle and becomes a natural transition. Let's start with the most powerful time of day, morning. The first hour after your toddler wakes up sets the tone for their entire sleep-wake cycle. Here's what you need to do, and I want you to start this tomorrow morning. Within 30 minutes of your child waking up, get them outside, even for just 10 minutes, even if it's cloudy, even if it's cold and you bundle them up. Natural morning light, even on a cloudy day, is hundreds of times brighter than indoor lighting, and that light hits your toddler's eyes and sends a powerful signal to their brain. This signal says, it's daytime, it's time to be awake and alert, and in about 12 hours, it will be time to sleep. This simple action starts a biological countdown to bedtime. Parents who do this consistently tell me their toddlers naturally start getting sleepy at bedtime, not hyper, not fighting, but genuinely tired. If you can't get outside, open all your curtains wide and have breakfast near a window. The closer to natural light, the better. This isn't about spending your whole morning outside. 10 to 15 minutes is enough. A quick walk, playing in the backyard, even sitting on the front steps while they eat a snack. You're not adding anything complicated to your day, you're just shifting where you spend those first few minutes, and this single change can transform your evenings. Now let's talk about physical activity, but not in the way you might think. Most parents know toddlers need to burn energy, but what matters isn't just movement, it's the type of movement and when it happens. Your toddler needs big, physical movement that actually tires their body, not just mental stimulation, not just busy activity. They need to run, climb, jump, push, pull, movement that makes them breathe harder, movement that works their muscles. And this needs to happen in the morning and early afternoon, not right before bed. Here's why. Physical activity releases energy and tension from the body, but it also temporarily increases alertness. If your toddler is running around at 5 or 6 p.m., you're actually making it harder for them to wind down by bedtime. So create opportunities for big movement earlier in the day. This doesn't mean signing up for classes or buying equipment. This means letting them climb on the couch, giving them heavy things to carry, playing chase, going to the playground. Toddlers who get genuine physical tiredness during the day fall asleep faster and sleep deeper at night. Their bodies feel satisfied. They've used their muscles the way they're meant to be used. If weather keeps you inside, create movement opportunities at home. Dance parties, pillow mountains to climb, simple obstacle courses with couch cushions. The goal is 15 to 30 minutes of activity that makes them breathe harder and use their whole body. You'll notice something interesting. When toddlers are physically tired in a healthy way, they're actually calmer in the evening, not more wound up. Calmer, because their nervous system knows I've done my work for the day, now I can rest. Here's where most parents unknowingly sabotage bedtime. The afternoon is a transition time. Your toddler's body is starting to shift from alert mode toward rest mode, and what we do during this transition either supports natural sleep or fights it. First, let's talk about naps. If your toddler still naps, the timing matters enormously. Naps that end too late in the day steal sleep pressure from bedtime. Your child literally isn't tired enough to fall asleep at a reasonable hour. If your toddler is over 2 and still napping, that nap should end by 3 p.m. at the latest, ideally by 2:30. If your child is fighting bedtime for hours, one of two things is happening. Either they're napping too late or they're ready to drop the nap. I know that's hard to hear. The nap might be your only break, but if bedtime is a nightmare, the nap might be the culprit. Try this. For 3 days, skip the nap. Make bedtime 30 to 60 minutes earlier to compensate. See what happens. Many parents find their toddler falls asleep easily, sleeps longer, and everyone is happier. Even though they lost that afternoon break, they gained their evenings back, and everyone sleeps better. But the key is if you skip the nap, bedtime must move earlier.
A toddler who's been awake since 7 a.m. and doesn't nap cannot make it to 8 p.m. without becoming overtired. And overtired toddlers don't sleep better, they sleep worse. Their bodies produce cortisol to keep them going, and that cortisol makes it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. Now we're entering the most crucial time, the 2 hours before bed. This is where the magic happens, or where everything falls apart. Your toddler's body is preparing for sleep. Melatonin is starting to rise, body temperature is beginning to drop, but only if we support this process. Here's what needs to happen. 2 hours before bed, the energy of your home needs to shift. Not drastically, not suddenly, but gradually and noticeably. Dim your lights, all of them. Use lamps instead of overhead lights. Close curtains as the sun sets. Remember, light tells your toddler's body whether it's time to be awake or asleep. Bright lights in the evening suppress melatonin production. They tell the body, stay awake, it's still daytime. Dimmer lights signal day is ending. Time to rest. If you're thinking, but we need to see, that's fine. You can still see with lamps and dimmed lights. You're not sitting in darkness, you're just creating a clear distinction between daytime and nighttime energy. Next, lower the noise level. Turn off loud TV shows. Put away toys that make noise. Speak more quietly yourself. Your toddler mirrors your energy. If you're loud and energetic, they'll be loud and energetic. If you're calm and quiet, they'll start to calm down too. This doesn't mean being boring. You can still play, but choose calm activities. Books, puzzles, coloring, building with blocks, quiet pretend play. Avoid roughhousing, tickling, chasing, or anything that amps them up. Save that for morning. And here's something powerful. Give your toddler a warm bath about an hour before bed. Not because baths are relaxing, though they can be, but because of what happens after. When your child gets out of a warm bath, their body temperature drops, and a dropping body temperature is one of the signals that triggers sleep. You're working with biology, not against it. Now, let's talk about the actual bedtime routine. This needs to be consistent. Same order, same time, every single night. Toddlers feel safe with predictability. When they know what comes next, their anxiety decreases, and anxiety is one of the biggest sleep disruptors. Your routine doesn't need to be long. 20 to 30 minutes is plenty. Here's a simple structure that works. Bath, pajamas, brush teeth, 2 books, song or cuddle, lights out. Same order every night. And here's the crucial part. End the routine in their bedroom with dim lights. You want the last thing they see before sleep to be their sleeping environment. Don't do books in the living room and then carry them to bed. Do books in their room. They need to feel sleepy in the place where they'll actually sleep. During this routine, stay calm. Speak softly. Move slowly. Your energy sets the tone. If your toddler tries to delay bedtime, asking for more water, more books, more songs, set kind but firm limits. We already had 2 books. Now it's time to sleep. I love you. I'll see you in the morning. Consistency here is everything. If you give in to just one more every night, your toddler learns that bedtime is negotiable. They'll push every single night. But when you're consistent, they learn this is how bedtime works. I can trust this routine. And trust creates security. Security creates calm. Calm creates sleep. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Your toddler's emotional state throughout the day directly affects their sleep. Toddlers who feel connected, secure, and heard during the day settle easier at night. Toddlers who've had a day full of no, stop, don't, and power struggles often fight bedtime harder, not because they're difficult, but because they haven't had their emotional needs met. So during the day, find moments to connect. Get down on their level. Make eye contact. Really listen when they talk to you. Give them choices where you can. Do you want the red cup or the blue cup? Should we read this book or that book? Toddlers need to feel some control in their lives. When they get appropriate choices during the day, they fight less at bedtime. And when conflicts happen, handle them with calm firmness. Not anger, not frustration. I know you wanted to keep playing. It's hard to stop when you're having fun. But now it's dinner time. Acknowledge their feelings, Set the limit, move forward. Toddlers who feel understood during the day trust you more at night. I know I've given you a lot, so let's break this down into what you can start tonight, right now. Tonight, do this. 1. Start dimming your lights 2 hours before bedtime. Use lamps, close curtains. 2. Give a warm bath 1 hour before bed. 3. Follow a simple, consistent bedtime routine in your child's bedroom. 4. Set one kind, firm boundary if they ask for one more anything. Tomorrow morning, do this. Get outside within 30 minutes of wake up. 10 minutes, that's all. Tomorrow afternoon, make sure any nap ends by 3 p.m., or consider dropping it if bedtime is a battle. And tomorrow, find 2 moments to really connect with your toddler. Get on their level. Listen, give them a choice. You don't have to do everything perfectly. You just need to start. Because here's what happens when you align your toddler's day with their natural biology. Within 3 to 5 days, you'll notice changes. They'll start getting sleepy at bedtime naturally. They'll fight less, they'll fall asleep faster. Within 2 weeks, sleep becomes predictable. You'll get your evenings back. You'll sleep through the night. And within a month, this becomes your new normal. Sleep isn't a battle anymore. It's just what happens naturally at the end of the day. This is the parenting revolution. Not a complicated system, not expensive products or rigid schedules, just working with your child's body instead of against it. You've been doing your best with the information you had. Now you have new information, and everything can change. Your toddler wants to sleep well. Their body is designed to sleep well. You just needed to know how to support that natural process. You're not starting from scratch. You're just making small shifts that create massive changes. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, you're starting fresh. You have a plan. You know what to do. And a month from now, you'll barely remember what these sleepless nights felt like because you're about to get your sleep back, your patience back, your joy back. This is possible for you, starting tonight. You've got this.